Yes, Your Honor. May I proceed?
You may.
My name is Joe Jakowski, and I will be asking you a few questions on behalf of the prosecution.
Okay.
You are Mr. Funt's lead actor, correct?
Yes, of course.
And you were hoping to get noticed to get your big break by having others see your work in these videos?
Yes, of course. I'm an actor. It's always my goal to go big, go home.
So would that be a yes?
Yes.
And you get paid by Mr. Funt to perform these roles?
Well, obviously it's my job.
With regard to your acting experience, you've stated that you've worked in haunted houses, towers of terror, and other scare-related projects.
Right. This is what I love to do.
And victims in these scare projects often react negatively?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, usually they see the bright side of things and laugh it off, but some don't appreciate the art. But
Mr. Michael, you've been sucker punched, chased, bit, and even tasered. Your Honor, this is relevant, as I am asking these questions to form a more. Excuse me. I'm asking these questions to see if Mr. Michael knows the reactions to fear.
Your Honor, may I respond?
Briefly.
This evidence does not tend to prove or disprove the fact of the issue at hand today.
I'll let you continue, but you're on a tight leash.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. You've been sucker punched, chased, bit, and even tasered.
Threatened with a taser and pepper sprayed, but that's just common reactions. Certain people react differently, like the doctor has said. But, you see, don't get me wrong, I can usually gauge how far is too far.
Thank you, Mr. Michael. Let's talk about Mr. Funt's direction. As the director, Mr. Funt sets the scene and tells you what he wants you to do.
That's what a director does, yes.
And you do what he wants you to do.
Of course.
You've previously stated that Mr. Funt can push the limits.
We both have this skill. When it comes to doing these art projects...
Mr. Michael, let me redirect you back to my question. You've previously stated that Mr. Funt can push the limits, yes or no?
It's all turned out all right, but if that's what you want me to say, it's happened, but we gauge how far is too far.
Yes or no, for the record?
For the record, yes.
Thank you. For instance, you were pepper sprayed in the face in one of Mr. Funt's productions, and Mr. Funt told you to continue on with the scene.
Yes, the red eyes gave an extra effect to it. It made it look more realistic.
Let's talk about the incident on May 11th. On that day, you were hired to dress up as a zombie, lure and chase the Baskervilles down an alleyway.
Well, I wouldn't say lure. It was their personal choice to go investigate the sale.
And while you were chasing them down the alleyway, Devin tripped and broke her ankle.
Yes, I was there, and I helped her up when she had fallen.
When you ran to give aid to Miss Baskerville and got to Miss Baskerville, she threatened to sue Mr. Funt in order to stop these pranks from happening again.
I mean, I was so intent. I don't pick up that stuff. It's all...
Did she or did she not threaten to sue Mr. Funt in order to stop these pranks from happening again?
This is hearsay. This talks about suing.
Your Honor, may I respond?
Yes.
Your Honor, this is hearsay. However, it falls into the exceptions under 803, subsection 1 and 2, present sense impression and excited utterance. As after Miss Baskerville tripped, he immediately ran to give aid to Miss Baskerville, and then Miss Baskerville immediately told him after he got there that she wanted to sue Mr. Funt in order to stop these pranks from happening again.
Your Honor, may I respond?
Go ahead.
This is hearsay because he mentioned suing, which is unlawful pursuant to Rule 403.
No, I think it's a verbal act if, in fact, you can establish that this witness has personal knowledge of the threat to sue. So why don't you inquire about it?
In your sworn statement, it says that Miss Baskerville threatened to sue Mr. Funt in order to stop these pranks from happening again.
I believe she might have mentioned that.
Mr. Funt was very insulted and angry about the threat of a lawsuit.
Yes, of course. Most people, you just don't walk around suing people.
Your Honor, this question asks for speculation. I ask that this answer may be stricken from the record.
Your Honor, this is not speculation, as Mr. Funt told my witness that he was very angry about the threat of a lawsuit and insulted.
I think it shows the state of mind, and I will allow it.
All right. Let's move on to the incident on July 2nd. On that day, you was a lead actor in the elevator prank, correct?
Yes, I was the ghost haunting this elevator.
The Baskervilles entered Mr. Funt's office building on July 2nd, correct?
Yes, I did.
When they entered, Mr. Funt told you to give this one absolutely everything you had and not to hold back.
That's what a good director does. Plus, I always give it my all. He's just trying to pump me up.
He also told you that he would fire you if you didn't make it your scariest performance ever. Your Honor, this is not hearsay. It is an admission by a party opponent.
Response?
I stand by this objection.
Yep, I'll allow it.
In fact, Mr. Funt told you that he would fire you if you didn't make it your scariest performance ever.
But he didn't. Plus, it was just positive encouragement to pump me up. I was already cast in his next project.
So would that be a yes or no?
He didn't, but he might have said that, yes.
You made a sworn statement today, correct?
Yes.
And in that statement, does it say that Mr. Funt would fire you if you didn't make it your scariest performance ever? Is that what he said?
Yes, it is, but he didn't.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. The Baskervilles entered Mr. Funt's elevator on that day, correct?
Yes, they did.
And when they entered, you could see that Devin was when the scene started, you could see that Devin was very frightened.
Yes, that's a
You could
typical
also
reaction.
see that you could also see that Charlene was very frightened.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I was so focused in on Devin, but I don't know.
So frightened, in fact, that Charlene clutched her chest, gasped for air, and collapsed to the floor.
Yes, it was sad. I thought she had just fainted, but
You then you then waited for the scene to end, then ran around to give aid.
yes, of course. I always finish the scene first. The show must go on. But
Was
I
there
did want to
anything-
help.
Was there anything in between you and Miss Baskerville that could have stopped you from helping her?
Well, Devin was standing there, but other than that, no.
After you ran around to give aid, you could see, emergency personnel arrived, correct?
Could you please repeat the question?
After you ran around to give aid, after you ran around to give aid, emergency personnel arrived.
Yes, someone must have called 911.
But Mr. Funt did not assist in any way.
Well, no, he did not. I was.
Are you aware that Officer Strad has warned Mr. Funt about these scare productions in the past?
I believe it's Strahd, but yes, I did know that.
And even so, Mr. Funt continued to create these scares bigger and better, all in the name of art.
We always go bigger and better each and every time. Otherwise it wouldn't be better.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions at this time.